This video will be explaining how to use Grand Valley State University's Blackboard. First thing we're going to do is search GVSU in our search bar, and we're going to go to gvsu.edu. Now that we're here, in the top corner there is a big B and a small b, and this is what we're going to click to get to Blackboard. Once you're in Blackboard, there's many things that you can navigate around to get to many different resources. Starting with My Blackboard. My Blackboard is the home page. It looks like this. Here you have announcements, your grades, you can send an email, you can use your calendar, and you can see some of your announcements. To me, this is a little bit hectic to see in Blackboard, so I like to go specifically to courses. To do that, you go to this upper left-hand corner and it says courses. Now here you have a list of all the courses that you are enrolled in for this semester, whichever semester that may be. So to start off, we can just click one of my classes. This is a standard for how every professor will have their stuff on the side. Each professor can customize this area right here depending on the class that it is. For example, Spanish classes may have like a virtual discussion or something different depending on the class. But the first thing is announcements, which is this page that we're on right now. This is all of the communications that your professor has notified us. As you can see, my professor says, hello students, this is what we're doing this week. Greetings students, the one thing we'll have on our plate this week is exam 3, and so on and so forth. This is where your professor will be communicating with you and the rest of the class. Down to instructor information. Here we have all the information on our instructor, their office hours, their location of their office. If you ever forget and you're on your way to office hours, that's a good place to look. And email for contact. If they don't have their phone number on here, that's probably not the best way to reach them, but some professors do put their phone number on there as well. Next is the syllabus. The syllabus tab, it has one thing and one thing only, and it is the end-all and be-all of what you're going to be doing in the class. So the syllabus, again, has some instructor information, the course description, it has the grading scale, which is also very important, and the schedule of what you're going to be doing every day in class, as well as things like how to reach out to disability support services or dealing with plagiarism, academic honesty, how to communicate with the professor, and all of the general norms that they have for their class. Below syllabus is documents. Here in documents are where most professors are going to be putting your weekly PowerPoints, your note sheets if you're getting note sheets, and any study materials that you will need for the class. So for example, this is the video that we're watching in that class along with the essay, so we'll be able to resource all of the information we need from class from our documents tab. And most professors will do it week by week as well. Each professor is slightly different depending on the department and depending on the subject. The next tab is assignments. Assignments are where you're going to find all of the things that you need to turn in. The assignments tab is a little bit tricky because it can be difficult to see where you're supposed to turn in your stuff. So if there's an assignment with a bold black header and it's underlined, that means that you can still turn it in. Whereas this one, this extra credit, is not underlined, so you can't still turn it in. And to turn in a paper, you just press the assignment name, and it should take you to where you can turn it in. So I already turned this in, so I can preview what I turned in here. I can look at my paper, but if I press Start New, this is how your assignment tab will look if you did not turn it in yet. So with that being said, you can either browse your computer and upload an assignment, or you can write a submission down here. What I suggest is writing your paper or assignment on Google Docs or Pages or Microsoft Word, and then copy and pasting it in here. If you browse your computer and upload an assignment, sometimes professors cannot accept that form if their computer is not compatible with Pages or not compatible with Google Docs. They won't be able to read your paper. So I always play it safe and just copy and paste my paper into here. The next tab that we have is discussions. So discussions will have a description of what your professor wants you to do. You will just read all this. I also write this out on a separate page first, and then you go to create it, you press create thread. That's going to give you the opportunity to answer all the questions that your professor has for you, and then you just press submit or save draft if you want to come back to it later. And then you can also see what other people have done, what their discussion is, and sometimes professors will require you to reply to somebody. If you want to reply, just click reply, and the same thing, you'll just type your message to them and turn it in, press submit. The last thing on here is grades. So when you're looking at grades, you will have a weighted total, which means that this is the total that takes into account how much percentage that your professor wants to weigh on tests, quizzes, exams, homework assignments, the weight out. So this is the accurate percentage of your grade. Now, I did a lot of extra credit in your class, so this is unusual. But it'll give you your assignment grades, it will give you your exam grades, and then also, as you can notice, there are these little things next to some of the assignments without grades. So this yellow exclamation mark means that you have turned it in, but it still needs to be graded. This gray circle means that you are exempt from the assignment and you don't have to do it. Moving forward, email. This is where you can email anybody in the class and all the people you can think of to need to email. So you can select users, you can go through your class and see who you need to email. If you're doing a project and you forgot to get somebody's email, you can email everybody. If your professor puts you guys in regular groups, you can email your group. You can email your teaching assistant, which most classes at Grand Valley do not have teaching assistants except for some labs. You can email all the student users. This is great if you miss class and need to get the notes or something, don't know anybody's number in that class. Just email all student users and explain what happened. People are pretty good about getting you notes. Or you can email your instructors, or select users, or select groups. If your professor, again, doesn't put you in groups, that's not going to do anything. Lastly, we have tools. Tools are something that people usually never use. You have anything that you could possibly need. You have roster, you can send email, which you can also do from here. Calendar, most professors do not use calendar. Blackboard Collaborate is where you'll be having online classes, but most of the time if you're doing that, your professor will put that in documents or assignments. That's pretty much it with tools, announcements. You can see everything you can see here that's necessary, you can also see here. And last but not least, help. This will take you to GVSU's technology support, which will be able to help you out with any Blackboard questions that you have. Another thing that you can use when you go to this open page, you have your community, which means the organizations that you're in. Here you will usually see your advisors. This is my advisor, so I'll see her and him whenever I need to. I can just easily click and access them there. And you have your notifications dashboard, which will show you the items that are past due, the things that you need to do today, tomorrow, next week, announcements you have, assignments you have, discussion boards, gradebook, all of the things that you need will be here. This can also get really confusing looking at this, so I don't go there often. Also, you will have access to the GVSU library straight from your Blackboard. So you click here, you will be able to see all the university library stuff needed. You can also go to services, which will take you to here where you'll see all of the group exercise, the campus recreation stuff, the writing center resources, library resources. If you're living on campus, you can see your housing resources and your meal plan resources. Lastly, it will take you to your GVSU email as well. It will log you right in and you'll be able to see anything that you need from your professors. One other thing you may want to look at is up here. Up here has your courses where you can just click them, go straight to them. It will give you your announcements for all of your classes, not just one class. You can also see announcements for organizations here. This can also give you your full grades, so you can see all of the grades for your classes right here. You can also go to your posts. So if other students are posting things in discussion boards, that is what this is. Lastly, you can see your calendar here. Once again, most professors don't really use calendar, but it is helpful to see what you need to do or what you could possibly be missing. And that's it. The last thing that you need to know is to log out. Press this little off button in the corner and it'll log you right out.